All right, guys, we're back. 112 pounds. We're getting into the nitty gritty here. This weight class is going to be fun to watch. We got kids coming from all over the country in this weight class. And, most notably, Paul Conrath, who's fresh off a Fargo title. He's our top seed coming from Indiana. We're super pumped to have a bunch of studs coming from the Hoosier State. We're really building a good connection there in Indiana. And, we're really excited to see these guys here. We're gonna do this. We're gonna go through this whole weight class. Once again, my name's Tony Greathouse. I am the tournament director of the Grappler Fall Classic and the founder of MichiganGrappler.com. And with me, I have the brains behind the operation, high school analyst for the Associated Wrestling Press and MichiganGrappler.com, Steve Wodzinski, as well as Associated Wrestling Press college analyst, JJ Johnson. These guys know pretty much everything there is to know about wrestling in the state of Michigan as well as all over the country. And they're going to help me break this weight class down. So, Steve, let's start with you. Give me a rundown of what we have at 112, the top seeds and what we're looking at.
Top seed is Conrath. It's kind of a slam dunk. He's ranked number 4 in the country at 106. Next, Caleb Smith from Florida. Wrestled really well at the GFC the past 2 years. And number 3, we got my boy Max Johnson, Michigan State champion from Davison. Number 4, Tony Decaseri, Ohio State runner-up. He's a junior. Number 5, Tito Cullum, another junior from New York, state placer. 6, John Siamez, Wesleyan John Glenn, kid I'm really high on, took 3rd last year in the state D1. Number 7, Jarrett Trombley, one of the top 25 incoming freshmen in the country. Kind of seated low because he doesn't have a lot of high school criteria, but he's a guy that can make a run to the finals, I think. Number 8, Joey Silva, Florida State champ, won it as an 8th grader last year. Number 9 and number 10, we get state runner-ups, Brendan Abrigo from Manchester and Carl Antrazian from Monroe. And number 11 and 12, we got returning state placers, Dante Rivera Garcia of Southgate Anderson, Michigan, and Hector Collum of New York. And then rounding it out, we got state qualifier Dylan Wilkins and state placers Nolan Saxton, Jack Medley, and Robert Lefevre.
That's a pretty deep weight, guys. We got 16 guys seated, and every single one of them, I'm pretty sure are state placers from the various states.
2 that aren't state placers, but one's a freshman.
And then now, how many do we have? At least 4 or 5 seeded guys who are state qualifiers, including I think maybe a state placer.
Yeah, Kyle Boxeth, unseeded state placer. Colton Cummings, 1 division Indiana, state qualifier. He's not seeded, so lots of depth and lots to look forward to in the early rounds.
So we could have some bracket busters.
Yep, 2-time state qualifier Caleb Marion, D1. So there's a lot of big matches early.
All right, JJ, you heard the seeds. What do you see as guys, guys to look out for, or maybe some potential matchups that you really want to see?
Yeah, so I think from the round of 16 on is going to be really good matchups. I think anyone that's in that round of 16 is pretty tough. So depending on how the seeds shake out, there's going to be a lot of tough kids. Like you said, Conrath, probably the class of the field. And then Caleb Smith, really tough guy. I think John Siamez would be my pick from the bottom half to make the finals. There's a couple tough kids up top, really tough guys, DeCesar and Tito Cullum. I think both those guys are really tough. Cullum was in the quarterfinals at Flow Nationals last year. So those would be kind of my top guys. Max Johnson in there too, obviously. If he can get down to 12, he's going to be really tough there. And I'm excited to see Jarrett Trombley as well. But even all the way down through 16, you got Carl Antrazian, Dante Rivera Garcia, some other guys like that, Nolan Saxton. All those guys are really tough, and they're going to give those top seeds fits, and I'm excited to see how it's going to shake out.
Steve, what do you got for a potential, let's call it I don't want to say dark horse, but a bracket buster, somebody who's, a lower seed that you think is going to just possibly throw a wrench in this thing?
I'm looking at 2 guys. I'm looking at number 7, Jarrett Trombley, freshman. He would, hypothetically, if the seeds hold, he would wrestle Caleb Smith, a former GFC champ, in the quarters. And I think that's a winnable match for Trombley. And then you'd see Max Johnson in the semis, and I think that's a winnable match too. So he's a freshman, still got a lot to prove, not as established as these other guys, but he has all the ability that he needs. Then a little farther down the chart, I am a big Dylan Wilkins fan. I think he's going to be one of the bigger, stronger guys of this weight. If he can get down to 112, I think he can get on the podium.
Wilkins has been holding his weight down well. He's on a really good regimen of Advocare products that have been really helping him maintain his weight. Advocare Bills champions. You know, the guy that I really like, and you talked about him a little bit, but that's Caleb Smith from Florida, from Lake Gibson High School. 2 years ago, he came here and he won the GFC at 105, beat Mason Smith from Michigan in the finals, which was an amazing match. Mason Smith went on and won the JJ Classic. I think he won the Freak Show as well that fall, and really kind of made a name for himself. And Caleb Smith beat him here. Last year, Smith lost a tough semifinal match. Came back to third, I think.
Yep, beat Benny Gomez, who's nationally ranked Michigan State champ.
Exactly. So Caleb Smith can beat anybody. And the thing I like about him is he's all over the place. You know, he's really unorthodox. He's tall. He's lanky. He's hard to wrestle. And the match I really want to see if it plays out is him and Max Johnson in the semifinals because. You know, as you guys know, Max Johnson is a guy who can score points. He gets out and fights and battles and really has some good matches. And I think him and Caleb Smith could be a pretty dynamite semifinal matchup if it happens. So real quick before we wrap this weight class up, who do you guys have winning it?
I have Conrath winning it, and as much as I like him, and I think he's the guy here hands down, I think that Smith is just a tough guy to match up with, so it'll be a really competitive finals match, but I think Conrath wins it.
JJ?
I got Conrath winning also, and if the seeds hold up and these guys are where they are in the bracket right now, I got John Simez making the finals against him. And I'm going to throw my sleeper in there because I didn't get a chance to throw one. But if I had to pick a sleeper, number 14, Nolan Saxton. That'd be my sleeper guy.
I'm going to go ahead and say that my man, Caleb Smith from Florida, he's going to funk his way to the finals and he's going to win his second GFC title. He knows how to get some. He's been there before. He's going to make it happen again. That's 112 pounds. It's going to be a great weight class to watch. And, you guys can stay up to speed with everything that's going on the week leading up to the Grappler Fall Classic before it goes down on October 18th. Stay with us at MichiganGrappler.com, GrapplerFallClassic.com, and follow us at MishGrappler on Twitter. We're hashtagging GFC 2014, and as always, we're going to hashtag Get Some.